Skateboarding has always been a love of mine. I've been skateboarding ever since I was a little kid, and I always wanted to compete. This summer, I finally made the decision to compete at an expert level. The first contest I skated in was Mayhem at Melrose Skate Park in College Park, Maryland. People from all over the East Coast came to skate in this contest. The sun was blazing hot, and I thought I could easily fry an egg right on top of my grip tape. Music was blaring as everyone warmed up before the contest. There were 22 kids of all ages skating in my division, and every one of them found a way to cut me off during warm-ups. I was getting frustrated with these kids constantly getting in my way. Multicolored tents popped up all around the outside of the park with vendors representing their products. Irritated with the other kids and determined to conserve my energy, I did not warm up as much as anyone else. I wanted to watch and see who I was competing against today. Feeling nervous, I cruised around the outside edge of the park watching everyone else skate. People had so many different styles of skating. Most of the kids had very street-based styles of skating and did very technical tricks. My style is very trendy, so I skated a lot different than most of my competitors. A competitor of mine that stood out had dreadlocks down to his back, wore an Adidas skate shirt and bright red shoes, and looked very good. Most of the skaters ranged between high teens and low to mid 20s, and I figured that they had more experience. So I started wondering if I made the right decision coming here. The first round started around 1:30 p.m. and I was sweating and breathing very heavily. I didn't know if my nerves were getting to me or I was just starting to show signs of heat stroke. I felt like I was going to throw up the burger I had eaten on my way driving down to the park. When my name was called, I felt anxious because I would be up first and I was unable to see anyone else skate before me. When the horn blew to start the contest, I focused on landing my first basic tricks: a board slide on the handrail, followed by a 50-50 and a backside feeble. I threw in some flat ground tricks and with a 360 flip, followed by a no comply 180 leading into the stair section. After the first round, I sat down, sipping my Mountain Dew, waiting for the other group to finish. I didn't think I had a chance to make it to the finals. The dreadlock guy did a backside 3 down a gap. I'd only seen people do that in videos. I was never very confident in my skating. I wasn't sure I could even do that trick in my dreams. When he landed it, a little bit of my confidence has dropped. When the horn blared, riders from both heats made their way to the front table. The judges picked the best 2 riders from each heat. My name was called first. I couldn't believe it. I was stunned when I heard Riley Mitchell echoing through the speakers. My confidence was a bit shaken again when I was realizing that I would be competing against some of the best riders from the East Coast. I never thought I would be good enough to compete with these guys. The finals came around 2:15. There were only 3 riders in the final heat with me. No matter how I skated, I knew that I would at least get 4th place. From the looks of the other guys, I figured I wouldn't place any higher than that. The horn blew, and I took it slow. I wanted to ease my way into it. I landed almost all of my tricks, but I didn't think I landed any tricks more impressive than any of the other skaters. After the 5-minute jam, the 4 judges called the competitors over to the tents. The judges looked like they were in their late 20s to mid-30s. They were either owners of the company sponsoring the event or big names in the skateboarding community. The judges were announcing the winners starting with the 4th place spot. I anticipated my name being called, but it wasn't. I prepared myself for 3rd place, but I wasn't called for that either. Suddenly, I had an epiphany moment realizing that I was in the top 2, and I was astonished by this announcement. I knew for sure that there was no way I could be in 1st place. It felt like eternity waiting for them to call the skater in 2nd place. Finally, I heard the name, Tyler Sullivan, called loudly over the speakers. It took me a few seconds to realize that I won. It was an unbelievable moment because I realized that I watched competitions like this when I was growing up, and I never thought that I would win one. I learned that I truly have what it takes to compete with these guys, and I have been competing in contests all around the East Coast ever since.